Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So the Samsung's Galaxy A90 5G is out in Europe. So in this video, I'm gonna compare the A90 with the Galaxy A80. While in terms of the price, the A90 is at about $730 compared to $600 for the brand new Galaxy A80. So starting off with the construction, on both phones it will be aluminium frame and curved glass back, unlike the A70 and the A50 which have plastic bodies, and the A90 will have 3D refracting patterns on the back compared to a single plain color on the A80. The screen size will be the same, which is 6.7 inches diagonally, and gonna have the same aspect ratio as well. So as for their overall size, both will be the same in your hand and both are pretty large, while the A80 will be slightly more thicker and heavier than the A90. In terms of the bezels, again not a noticeable difference, same side bezels along with the top and bottom bezels. So the only difference from the front side will be that notch on the A90. On both phones, the fingerprint scanner will be in-screen optical scanner, and in this department Samsung is slightly slow but not that slow also, and the A80 won't have the face unlock feature while the A90 will have it. Both phones will have USB Type-C port for connectivity, but both are also lacking the headphone jack. There will be a single loudspeaker on the bottom side on both, and both does not have any certified protection against water, but the A80 will be more vulnerable to water because of so many moving parts. The display is super similar on both, so it's Super AMOLED on both with resolution of Full HD, so same screen sharpness, which will be good. Both of these screens will be pretty good in terms of quality, not as bright as the Note 10 and the S10 screens, but very comparable to the Note 9 and S9 screens, means very bright and so very high contrast, but still both does not support HDR10 content. The always on display will be there on both, and both will be protected by Gorilla Glass. Now to the performance aspects, and this is where the A90 rocks. It's having the Snapdragon 855 inside compared to the Snapdragon 730 on the A80. So in everyday use, the A90 is gonna be more snappier and more fluid than the A80, and by that I mean it's gonna be among the fastest Android phones of 2019. While the A80 is having pretty fast CPUs as well, but in terms of 3D and graphics, the A90 will be way ahead. The A90 will run all the heavy games on high settings, but on the A80 the Asphalt 9 will lag, so this means the upcoming games can also lag on it. The RAM will be 6 or 8 GB on the A90 compared to just 8 on the A80, and both phones will have 128 GB of internal storage. And as for expanding the storage on the A90, the 6 GB RAM variant will have the micro SD card slot, while the 8 GB variant will not have it, and the A80 does not have the micro SD card slot on any of the variants. And at last, both phones will be running One UI, so same user interface, and both will get the Android 10 update. Now as for the cameras, on both phones the main sensor will be 48 megapixel quad rear sensor with same aperture size, so both of these will output 12 megapixels images, and the image quality will be very similar. In good light, the A80 performed good. It had good detail and great dynamic range, while it did struggle in low light. So from the A90, which is more expensive than the A80, expect the same results, good in good lighting but not among the best low light performance, while both phones will have the long exposure night modes, which drastically improves the night shots. The wide angle sensor on both phones will have 120 degrees of field of view and gonna be 8 megapixels in resolution, so great field of view, but this sensor also struggles in low light. And at last, the third sensor on the A90 will be a regular depth sensor, versus on the A80 it will be a time of flight camera, so subject separation will be excellent on the A80 in portrait shots, while not bad portraits on the A90 too. As for video capture, it's 4K on both, but the frame rate is same as well, which is 30 FPS. The A90 could have had the 4K at 60 FPS because of the high performance ISP on the Snapdragon 855, but it does not. And for stabilization, both of these does not have OIS, so electronic stabilization will only work in lower resolution. And for heavy duty stabilization, both phones will have the super steady mode, which will record in 1080p. Slow motion capture on both phones will be at 240 fps, means 8 times slower, and the super slow motion will be at 480 fps, and both will capture it for 0.4 seconds. But the playback of this super slow-mo will be of 8 seconds on the A80, means 16 times slower, versus of 12 seconds on the A90, means 32 times slower. So this also means the A90 will use software and AI so that the resultant playback does not look choppy and laggy. And at last, the A80 will have the portrait video feature, which is not confirmed for the A90, but this thing is also becoming more software dependent than having a dedicated 3D TOF sensor. On the A90, we have a 32 megapixel selfie camera, which will output in 8 megapixels compared to the same 48 megapixels main sensor of the A80 on the front side as well. So here easily the A80 will be ahead in terms of everything: good detail, good dynamic range, lesser noise, and so great selfies. 123 degrees of field of view on the front side on the A80 for group selfies, and a dedicated flash as well. And if you're thinking about its durability, it's super strong and does not break or go wrong. At last, the battery capacity is significantly larger on the A90 compared to the A80, so the screen on time will definitely be more on the A90. During light usage, both phones will discharge at the same rate, but during gaming, the A90 will discharge at a faster rate because of its powerful and power-hungry CPU and GPU, but still the screen on time will be more on the A90 because the difference in capacity is way larger. But if you use 5G on the A90, then I cannot say for sure. And at last, for charging, both phones will come with 25 watts chargers, but both phones might take the same amount of time to fully recharge because the A80, in spite of its smaller battery and same charger, took the same amount of time to recharge as the A70, which has 4500 mAh battery, same as the A90, and a 25 watts charger. So this is it for this video, guys. Let me know what you guys think about both handsets, and if you found this video interesting, then be sure to please like it, and I will see you guys in my next video. Peace out.